Building the Glam booth now. First thing you want to do is make sure that the bigger opening is going to go towards the backdrop because that is where your main photo booth tower is going to go. Now you want the 2 panels to face the back where the printer is going to be, and you want 1 big panel to face the backdrop. First thing I'm doing is connecting the tower, and then I'm going to take the extension cord for the printer light. Go ahead, plug that in while it's laying down, feed it up through, feed everything else through, use the Velcro to connect it to the tower, and then grab that 2 outlet USB to plug in both of your lights. Once you got that secure, you know what to do with the cable. Now, take the printer stand, connect that as well. I'm moving these pieces so you can see where each of them go. Now, this is interesting. Remember, anytime that you connect, you want to make sure that you move those latches so it's easier to put in. And you're going to notice that right here, I'm going to get stuck connecting the other side because the head is actually sitting on top of the latch. Lift that up, make sure all the latches are pushed down, and now you can easily connect. Notice too that I also don't have the light at the bottom of the booth head connected just yet. I'm going to do that later. Okay, let me shift this over so you can see the other side now. Placing the rear, let's remove that cover so that way you can see better. I want to make sure that whenever you feed that through, the easiest way is to start with the prongs first and then feed the whole thing down to the extension cord. And use the available opening, tuck everything, and then you can secure the light at this point. There is a USB extender connected in there. Magnetize that. The last thing you have left is the plug for the rear panel. Now time for the printer stand plate. Same principle applies. Make sure that you remove those latches so it's easier to latch. Remember to place all the panels. And finally put the printer on, plug everything in. You want to place the printer cover over top first before you put the tray on. Go ahead, replace all the pieces, plug in your booth, attach the tray, and you're ready to go. I'll give you some tips. Right here on the printer, it says to booth, and as you can tell, this is not going to the booth, and that is what's going to happen. So what you need to do is go ahead and disconnect that, flip it over. Another tip here is this is going to be even, and then you can snap that in place, much sturdier. Don't forget that this cable underneath the printer is going to go underneath the booth, and it's going to come out this side, connecting into this and this, so that way you can plug the printer light and the base tower light together. I'm getting ready for the printer. I put everything into this little bag right here. Inside you have your Surface Pro, and inside here you have everything for the printer. So you have your printer cable and your printer plug. Okay, I have the tray off so I can show this to you a lot easier. This is the power that will go into your Surface Pro. That is gonna come right after this one, and it'll come into this second hole out. And I already have it connected to the power, so that's one less thing you have to worry about. For the printer now, you wanna go down through the same exact hole, okay? Because this end is gonna come up so it looks better this way. And you are going to feed this down through. And as you know, this will be inside, this will be underneath the base. But this is how your outlet should look. You should have your 2 lights for the bases to be plugged into here, your printer cable, and your power cord for the photo booth. Okay, allow me to show you the Surface Pro printing. We're gonna lift this cover off, reveal this, reach into your bag and get out your Surface Pro. You want all the cables to come out of one end, just like this. You can go ahead and start it. But now I can go ahead and take the power to this and get this ready to go. And we need our printer cable. Remember, you want the flat, not the line. The line goes down right inside. Okay, Cadence, the trick is that you want this to be on this side. Whenever you put your cover down over top of this, all of the cables will then feed down through the cover, so that way it won't get stuck. You don't want this here and having to squeeze all this together. Once you're here, you are then going to connect. Okay, I have the printer cable already plugged in, the power to the printer plugged in, and I wanted to show you what I mean. Everything is coming behind this panel. So that way all you do is put your rear plate on. And now for the important stuff. So you want to connect it to your router. Once you do, you're going to do home button, settings. You're looking for devices. You're looking for printers and scanners. And you're looking for a DNP. And there it is. See, that one says offline and that one says copy one. That's great. Guess what? You're good to go. What I meant when I said to look at every one of them, you hit manage. And right here it says idle. That means that it's being read and it's on and it's ready to go. So you can go ahead and exit out of this. And your print server icon is that little guy right there. Hit yes, give it a little bit, and then you want to select your printer. And there it is right at the top. Just like I said before, we are doing strips and it's configured. So you're good to go. Nothing else you have to do here other than place the cover on. And this, super simple, slides right down in. You put your catch tray on here and you are set and ready to go. This is the new flash for the Glam booth. So once you get this in, it will want to spin on you. So you can spin this, sorry, this is really hard to do with one hand. You can spin this all the way around, but obviously you want it to be facing away. That is what it should look like. Just like that. Want to make sure that you're pretty straight. Good. There's a hole right there. Slide that guy in. And here's my rule of thumb. See how parallel I am? You want to be a little bit past parallel. You do not want to be down like this. This is bad. So right about here, and that should give you a good amount of coverage. Tighten her up and plug in as normal.